Hello, welcome back to Tiffany Talks Tarot. This one is the moon. So let's have a look. This is the moon card. Now, the moon card is very much about our subconscious. Where my finger is, that's supposed to be a crayfish, believe it or not. And crayfish are known for never completely emerging onto land, just like our dreams. They come up and then we forget them. They come up and then we forget them. Or deja vu, we can almost grasp it, but not completely. And this is very much the energy of the moon. And of course, we've just been speaking about dreams, and that's very much one of the influences of the moon. Now, it can be a very highly emotional time when the moon comes up, just like it is when there's a full moon. We get very, very emotional. We can get very, very confused. The reason why we can get very confused as well is because the moon always changes. It's the mistress of illusion. It never stays the same. You know, it just, every night it's either bigger or thinner. It's very feminine, and it's all about the female intuition and all those weird and wonderful, crazy emotional tides that we all have, be us feminine or masculine. So what you've got there is like a wolf and a dog, and that's very much known in shaman terms of like which one is going to win. Well, which one you feed the most. So there is this, it's almost dangerous rocky path that feels impossible because, you know, the crayfish doesn't completely come out of the water. So how is he going to navigate that anyway? And it's true that you can't really do that while the moon is up. Not safely. It's not very possible. For instance, you wouldn't go and climb a mountain, would you? At night, not unless you were completely and utterly nuts. You'd wait until the sun comes up because you know that the sun's going to come up because it always does. Yeah, and what would you do when the moon comes up? Well, go to bed. That's the most sensible thing that you can do. If you get this moon card, it shows that it's not the time for action because you can't see clearly and there's a lot of confusion. It's ruled by Pisces here in the tarot. So there is a lot of, you know, not being able to see clearly because of your energies being so blurred with other people's. You don't know what's yours. You don't know what somebody else's. You don't know what's intuition. You don't know what's madness. Really go to sleep and maybe keep a dream journal and note the dreams that you're having at this time. But again, I wouldn't really act on them until you start getting the sun in your readings. Okay, so that's a little bit on the moon. If you want to invoke the energy of the moon, it's very good for psychic development as long as you can be observational and not reactional and not take action on anything just yet. So it's very much like inducing a trip in a way, yeah, and that needs to be done. Obviously, I'm not advocating LSD, but we all know that there is dangers of bad trips if we're not doing them under the right conditions, and the same with psychic development as well. There is a risk if we don't have those pillars of society there to kind of keep us safe in some way, shape or form. Okay, so if you want to know more about the moon, you know, it is very much about living it, really. It is about working with your dreams and working with your psychic development, which was why I went off on a bit of a tangent about that there. All right, and if you want to know more, I'd love to see you on one of my courses. And to find out more, go to tiffanycrosara.com. Next up will be, of course, the sun, because that always comes up after the moon. See you there. Bye bye.